My name is Shawn Haywood. I'm the number 2 from Ice Cube, and that's spring 1992. I pledged with Roderick Watkins, who is my number 3, and Keith Farndo, who is my number 1. I pledged in spring 1992, but the reason why I pledged Alpha really stemmed back to the summer before I started college. I was part of a Roll Tide summer bridge program, and I met different people on campus. And when the fall came in and Homecoming Step Show came around, and I went to it, I realized all these people that I looked up to on campus were all alphas. People like Stephen Newburn and Chris Hollinger, Julian Davis, Marcus Deloach, all these people. And I started thinking, those are the type of people that I would like to be like when I graduate from school, or when I'm, at that point in my schooling, my education. So I decided to go ahead and pledge Alpha. And Alpha taught me so many things. I learned really about how to do community service and what it really means to give back to the community that has raised you. I also learned plenty of the social aspects. Hanging out and partying is one thing, but you really need to give back and you need to study. Plenty of role models that came around. And hopefully by the time I left UA, I was able to be a role model myself. I'm hoping that was one of the other things that I really enjoyed about Kappa Alpha, the tradition there, would have to be stepping. Love stepping. I started stepping the fall of 1992. My first show was Homecoming 1992, the whole Gigolos Get Lonely show. And the funny thing was, when I tried to step in the spring like Rod did, I could not. It just looked really bad, and I spent that summer really trying to learn and spent some time with Beta Oop and practice with them and really worked on it so that when the fall came around, I was ready to step for Homecoming. So I really enjoyed that portion of my life. There were so many different shows, so many that mean a lot to me. Sleeping in my bed show, the Montevallo shows, the Bucket Show down in Tuskegee, stepping in the CC before we did the Bucket Show down in Tuskegee, just so that we could practice a little of that in college was awesome. We had some great shows, awesome shows, some other great shows. Sleeping on my bed was a great show. The Ice Cube show was so good that we did it twice. We did it old school, we did it again with the new school group of guys. And when Cedric and those guys, Cedric and Alton and all those guys came in the spring of '95, and we really started stepping a lot more, I think. We started traveling a lot more and going to win shows in different places. Where stepping was a production. It started off with a small show like, let's say, the funeral show, and it was really well produced. We took the Ice Cube show and we added Antoine when Antoine was when he was a newscaster.
Old brothers of the Kappa Alpha chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. They tell us they're preparing for the Ice Cold weekend, September 8th through the 10th. Now, the funeral arrangements for this man are set for today at 5 p.m. in the Ferguson Center Ballroom. Please say you need to be aware of these brothers, for if you stick around for too long, you're bound to be frozen too.
And it was just awesome that we were able to put such intricate production into our step shows. And we were able to take one show that I remember to nationals, which was really a lot of the goal of what we would do. We had the 1989 step team that was always there, and you had that picture in the front room of the house that you could always look at and say, man, I really want to do that. We had won chapter of the year, we could win chapter of the year so many times, but we really had never won nationals just like those guys, and we wanted to do it. And we took the A-Phi Aliens show that we had put together, I believe it was in the fall of '96. And we started that show off with Homecoming in 1996. And we rode that show all the way to nationals, and it was awesome. And what was so good about that show was putting it together. We put that show together as a unit. There was an idea, let's do this. And then we started building upon it. And I know we did that for a lot of shows, but this one just fell together perfectly. We started using the AT Aliens, Outkast AT Aliens album as the base. We decided all the songs need to come from that album since it had just come out that summer, and people would really, cling on to that. So we put the show together, and we start working together, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was a work of art, if you ask me. And I think it's probably one of the best shows ever in KA history. So, what's my favorite show? It would have to be A-Fight Aliens, Fall of 1996, Homecoming. Bet on it.